How's it going, everybody? This is Travis Platt Reviews, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 7th studio album by alternative band The Front Bottoms, In Sickness and InFlames. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for watching. I do reviews, reactions, topic videos, lo-fi edits, and more, so if you like what you hear, please consider subscribing and turning on post notifications. Also, give this video a like and comment below if there's another album that you'd like me to review. Also, I've been way more active on Facebook and Instagram lately, so if you want music recommendations or just to see what I'm up to, you can go ahead and follow me on both. It is at Travis Platt Reviews. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into the review. The Front Bottoms are an alternative band from Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey, first forming in 2006. They are a band that mixed many different genres, including folk punk, emo, indie rock, and alternative rock. And with the unique vocabulary of the band's lyrics, there is no band quite like the Front Bottoms. The band has contributed to the rise of folk punk with their first 4 full-length albums: I Hate My Friends in 2008, My Grandma vs. Pneumonia in 2009, their label debut self-titled album in 2011, and Talon of the Hawk in 2013, which featured Twin-Sized Mattress, the band's most popular song as of recording. Maybe shake a tambourine. They have also released several EPs during that time, including Brothers Can't Be Friends in 2008, Slow Dance to Soft Rock in 2010, and Rose in 2014. After the success of Talon of the Hawk, the band signed to Fueled by Ramen and released Back on Top, a more alternative rock inspired album, in 2015, and then Going Grey in 2017, a more indie pop leaning album. And this album seemed to divide the fan base a little, with the addition of new sounds. Despite this, the band is the biggest they've ever been, with numerous sold-out tours, a Coachella appearance, tours with massive bands, their own festival, Champagne Jam, and a large number of dedicated fans, and 1.1 million monthly listeners on Spotify alone as of recording. The Front Bottoms are one of my favorite bands of all time, and I have a very strong connection to them. Their self-titled album is one of my favorite albums of all time, and songs like Flashlight, Please fall asleep so I can take pictures of you and hang them in my room, are very important to my high school years. They were the first folk punk band I ever listened to, and I discovered them around 2014, when I began expanding my music taste, and the band has become a soundtrack of mine ever since. The unique lyrics of the band, like "They'll probably ruin my whole summer, stop taking pictures with your phone," make you feel extremely nostalgic for memories you may not have even had, or very obscure moments in your lifetime, and I think that's a very special thing that the band does. I have liked every release they have made, but Going Grey, despite my personal enjoyment, wasn't up to par in my opinion. I loved some songs on it, like Vacation Town and Far Drive, but songs like You Used to Say and Everyone But You, when I hate everyone but you, were songs that I didn't like. So, coming into this new album, I was a little worried, especially since I believe that Fueled by Ramen bands almost always become more pop-friendly after signing, whether that is influenced by the label or not. But I wanted to stay optimistic for one of my favorite bands of all time, and a band I made my second edit of. There should be a card on the screen if you'd like to watch that. This album had 4 singles. The first single is Camouflage, the second track on the album. And this song shows the Front Bottoms we know and love at the forefront. I was so relieved when this song came out, and it shows a resemblance of the Back on Top era. This song goes through many different phases, a very vibey, somewhat minimalistic acoustic rock verse before jumping into an energetic pre-chorus, and then into that memorable chorus. The unique and clever lyrics and pronunciation are back here, and the lyrical repetition of phrases throughout their entire discography are shown here. Listen through their entire discography and take a shot every time Brian Sella says the word uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable, 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 uncomfortable.
The band has a tendency of having songs sound very similar, but still sounding fresh, and that is something so unique about this band. And this song fits so well into their discography. The second single is Everyone Blooms, the first song on the album, and this was my least favorite of the singles. I really appreciate the emo-inspired vocal layering, something that hasn't been around in a long time in the band's last few albums. And the guitar work is really well done, but I think my problem with this song is that the verses don't do very much for me.
That you want all of me, and I heard that you do anything.
And I don't like the bridge at all. It just falls flat. And I really want to like this song, but at this point, it's kinda hard for me. The third single is Montgomery Forever, the fifth track on the album. And this song has a very strong front-bottoms feeling, with a spoken word-esque beginning before building up to an ear-warming chorus, with a great use of vocal layering and repetitive lyrics that will easily be stuck in your head.
Montgomery forever, endeavor, endeavor, now they're blowing it up.
This song doesn't take a lot of risks, but it feels familiar as a front-bottoms track, but with a more alternative rock instrumentation. The ending of this song is very interesting, and it works pretty well as a transition. The fourth and final single is Fairbanks, Alaska, the ninth track on the album, and this is my favorite of the singles. This song has a very nice acoustic guitar and a lot of vocal layers, with the most charm on the entire album before building up to that hook halfway through the song, where the title is repeated.
Since I saw the northern lights in Fairbanks, Alaska.
This song almost feels like it belongs on Talon of the Hawk, but with a more mellow vocal delivery. This song feels so nostalgic for me, and I have never visited Alaska in my life. But it also gives a small town feeling, which may be where my sense of nostalgia is coming from. Either way, it's such a strong song. Although this album isn't groundbreaking, it's still very solid. The first deep cut we get a taste of is Jerk, which feels most similar to Going Grey, with a more electronic rock style. But I enjoy the charm of this song, but at moments the vocal manipulation feels awkward and it doesn't work the best. But the song is still very catchy and it's easy to bob your head along to. The Truth is the next track and it is very well done and has a nice vibe to it. And despite being harmless, it's one of the songs I've revisited the most so far. It's a very cute song and the lyrics reflect that.
The reason I got started and the reason I put it down, you are the truth I choose to bend myself around.
The transition from Montgomery Forever into The Hard Way is very jarring, which it was something I wasn't really expecting, with The Hard Way having a loud electric guitar bend to start the song, and this track has a southern rock feeling throughout. But the song calms into a really strong vibey rock ballad, and it carries itself very well, and I love the melody of the chorus.
Don't seem worth it anymore. The hard way.
It gives off a very warm countryside feeling, and that seems to be the feeling for the entirety of the album. Leaf Pile is probably my favorite song on the entire album, with a great fuzzy bass line and a strong vocal performance. And the song builds up, starting around the halfway mark, and builds to an excellent bridge. This is also my favorite song lyrically, talking about feeling backed into a corner and not wanting to be with someone, but instead wanting to look out the window and be the person you used to be. New Song D also has a really strong chorus, and despite having a weird moment that I'm not very fond of, the track still has a very nice percussion in the second verse, and is a lot of fun to listen to, taking you on many twists and turns. Love at First Sight is an introspective track about thinking marriage would solve all of your problems, when in reality, that isn't how it works. Bus Beat is probably my least favorite song on the album. I don't like the electric guitar synth overpowering the mix, and the chorus doesn't really work for me. But the very end of the song is very strong. I just wish the song was like that the entire duration. One critique I do have with this album as a whole is that there are parts of each song that I really love, but then it feels like there are parts of the same songs that I just don't like at all. Make Way also kind of falls flat for me, but I appreciate it for what it is, and the lyrics are well done. This 12-song, 52-minute album may have some spotty moments, but I thoroughly enjoy it, and this album has enough to please old fans and also make new ones along the way, with a mix of many different sounds, and even though I don't love every track or every second, it was still an enjoyable listening experience. And it does not tarnish my personal opinion on one of my favorite bands in any way. The Front Bottoms released an album that is both a return to form, but also encourages new sounds and new styles. Thanks for watching.